IMCC. I can see you. Pleasure to have you here. Sully, I see you. Good evening. How you doing? Oh man, it's so good to have you here. Yeah, I see you, my man. All right, we're waiting for others to join. We're waiting for our guests to be with us. I'm sure he'll be with us in any moment from now. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you, people. Okay, so yeah, I'm keeping safe, Sully. Hope you are keeping safe too. I heard you guys have resumed training in Ibadan. Hey, our guest is here. All hail, big hitting Ewete. Welcome, Ewete. Hey, all the peas in the building. Welcome, buddy. You're the man. You're the man. We hail you too, Baba. It's so good to have you here. All right, so if you're just joining in, this is a continuation of our series with live chats with people who have made their marks, left an impact in the Ayodele in this beautiful game of ours, that's cricket. And today I have the immense pleasure of hosting club legend, school legend, someone whose game I have come to admire over the years. We call him Ewete. Many people don't even know his first name. All they know is Ewete. Alright, so if you'll just make the request, Ewete, I'll add you on and then we can start the chat. I hope you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Hey, El Rezo in the building. El Rezo. Waiting for Ewete to join me. Yeah. Thank you. I acknowledge your thumbs up. Look who we have here. Ewete in the building. Ewete.
Good to see you,
bro. Hi, man. I'm all right. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Man, how have you been keeping safe in this our peculiar time?
It's been tough.
Well,
we've just been trying to adapt to the new way of living.
Well, yeah, we have no choice. We just have to roll with the times and hope that the normal that we have come to know would return. So,
Yeah.
first of all, let's acknowledge the people that are in the building. If you're in Lagos, good evening. Nigeria, good day. From wherever it is you're joining us, we acknowledge your presence, and we, Isaac, we are not here for music jamboree. We're having a chat with Ewete. You can go download the song where we're done. All right, so I was welcoming everybody. I can see for some people from far away, Uyo. I acknowledge your presence. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
in. All right, so
Good to
we have Ewete in the building. Let me just do a brief introduction. I've known him since my days in I think 100 level or 200 level, and he's one of the few people that I know started the game relatively late and then still went all the way to reach the peak of the game. I mean, what other higher honor would you want than to represent your country in the game you love? So he's one of those few people that I know started really late. I can bet that he didn't play the game in his primary school, he didn't play it in secondary school. He picked it up in the university. So we have him in the house. He has played for University of Ibadan at the Nuga Games. He played for Oyo State, represented Oyo State at National Sports Festival. He has represented a number of clubs in the Club Cricket Committee League in Lagos. And he has also flown the green, white, green on a number of occasions, and his figures speak for him. One of those batsmen that if you have a lineup of batsmen, you would want him on your side because you know he can always deliver. So you can welcome him with me, welcome Ewete. So let's go straight into
Thank
the
you.
chat. Ewete, as we normally call you. So where did it all start and how? Where, when, and how did it start? Can you just give us the brief history of how, when, and where it started?
Okay. Thank you for having me once again. It all started in 2001, I think, when I was in my 200 level in UI.
Okay.
I happened to be, going past the sports complex, where we had the cricket pitch there, and I saw a couple of guys, dressed in white, playing the game, and I noticed my friend Ajao, you know,
Yeah.
being part of the group on the pitch that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I beckoned on him if I was going to pass through the wicket, but they told me to go round. Then they stopped me. Then they stopped me and said that, oh, that the side that was fielding, the one complete, that would I like to join in? I was like, okay, let me even see what it's all about. So I was fielding, that was quite easy, chasing the ball up and down the field. Then all of a sudden, the captain of that side, Dr. Umar,
Yeah,
um,
I remember him.
yeah. So all of a sudden, he just called us and said the first innings has ended. I was like, first innings, okay, what's an innings? It was like first half in football. We are going to bat now. So we decided to go and bat, and I think I was batting maybe number 6. I think the live was a 7-a-side game, number 6. I think I
Okay.
gave the game away, and then Umar was like, "What are you doing? What is this?" I mean, he shouted at me. I felt so
Ah.
bad. In fact, I cried on the pitch that day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
I
can
went
go on.
home. Yeah, I went home really bitter, and I was like, "No way! I'm not a failure. I'm going to come back here and I'll be a fine cricketer." So I kept on coming for practice, and then that was how it all started.
Inspiring, inspiring. So you chanced on the game, but
Yeah.
your decision to continue with the game was born out of the fact that you hated to lose. I know if a waiter is in the side and the game seems to be slipping away, then you see the passion of Ewete come out. Okay, so many of us can relate with the story of how you started. We just chanced on the game, and the game kind of stuck on us. So, apart from the fact that you saw your friend Boris on the pitch, is there a chance that you would have considered taking a closer look at what they were doing on the pitch that day?
So two things come to mind.
Okay.
I had seen I'd seen Boris on the pitch in '97. When
Okay.
we're both in secondary school then, and then we got back home from. I think his father picked us from school. We got to the complex, and then he was meant to drop Boris off and then take me home. Yeah. So I saw a
Okay.
bunch of kids from Government College Ibadan. Yeah.
Okay.
On the pitch with Boris that day. And that was when Boris now told me that, hey, this is a sport that I play. It's
Okay.
called cricket. So it rang in my mind, it stuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
the second time I would see another, cricketer in the net in UI was Dr. Botoshaw. I found out much later that was
Yeah.
Dr. Botoshaw. He was dressed in, the cricket regalia. Everything was
Mm-hmm.
sparkling white.
Okay,
And he
right.
came with a bend. The man looked so elegant. So I
Yeah.
stopped by the fence again, saw Boris. So
Yeah.
invariably, I was always going to stop there,
Okay.
when I eventually saw the team practicing at the center that day. So I guess it was just
Okay.
destiny, that it happened that
Okay.
day. But right, so that would have been the third time that I would see cricketers, you
Okay.
know.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I was always a stop.
Interesting. Interesting. So you started playing in 2001, and
Yeah.
2002 was the year UI hosted the Nuga. Now, but when you started playing, had the previous set gone for the ABU Nuga then, or it was after the ABU Nuga that you joined?
So I joined after the ABU Nuga.
Okay.
UI
So
was
did you
trying
have it?
to rebuild.
Yeah. Did you have it in mind? Was it your goal to be good enough for selection for 2002 Nuga?
Yes, that was my goal,
Okay.
but I had to take
Beautiful.
it one step at a time. Yeah.
Okay. So let's hop on to Nuga 2002 now. Just before 2002, you remember the grueling routines that we had to go through for
Yeah.
in preparation towards. So, what were your memorable uh, points of that period? The times you cast your mind back on, and you like just spontaneously smile at yourself, or just laugh, or just giggle. What were those moments that you can remember?
I used to remember. I mean, I can remember, eating at Balewa Hall,
Yeah, Baliwa.
where where all the UI athletes used to converge to eat.
Yeah,
And I can also remember the long walk back to the hostel at Awu,
yeah,
which wasn't something I was used to because I never stayed in the in the halls of residence
yeah.
as a student. So I mean that comes to mind.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay, so now, what was your opinion of Taya Toloye then? He was like more or less like our coach, like the coach of the team then. What was your opinion of him when he was trying to put the team together for the game?
I think Tayo did a tremendous job, with that that UI side, because it's not easy to, harness, different talents like that, especially teaching the game of cricket to adults. It's
Yeah,
quite tough,
sure.
and
Yeah.
of course it required a lot of, yeah, go on.
So did you think UI had a chance? Did you think what he was doing then was going to yield something at the end?
Well, yeah, I think going into the Nuga games, Tayo had a plan, which was to have, a few guys at the core of the
Yeah.
side. Bowling wasn't our problem, but he kept on
Mm-hmm.
saying something, which was to have at least 4 to 5 batsmen that, he can rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the
Yeah.
strategy, and of course, after the tournament, everything just paid off, and people were able to take their cricketing further into the
Yeah.
Lagos leagues.
Okay. So now leading up to Nuga, the Nuga proper itself.
Yeah,
So I remember then I played Futo first game. It was more like cakewalk for us. And then came, I think it was Ife or Unilag. Was it Ife or Unilag? I can't remember.
well,
But the game where we lost, that was about the most painful game in the game. That was against Unilag. Tilo gave his wicket away. Now,
yeah.
how did you navigate that game? Because I know you were the keeper then, and I remember you're always with Boris by your side. How did you talk yourself from the start of the batting innings to the end of the batting innings?
Yeah. So I mean, that game, I knew it was so that was the decider at that Nuga.
Yeah, yeah.
And immediately we lost Tiloy. Somebody had to take charge. And I remember, having to block a lot of balls, scoring about 24 runs until I had a rush of blood to hit a spinner. And then I got stumped by Taiwo Denny. Yeah, so
Yeah, I
it was a
remember.
tough game. It was a tough game. And, looking back, I mean, if we had won that game, we would have probably won the gold medal.
Yeah, we would have. So, which of those games was your pick of the tournament? Like the game you like to be in again of those four games we played?
Uniden. Uniden,
Aha! Can you,
because
can you tell us why?
no, because the Edo, the Benin guys, they have this competitive nature.
Mm,
I'd never seen it before. It was intimidating. They'll want to win at all costs,
mhm.
regardless of their level of skill. They are
Yeah.
out there to win, and they hated to lose. I mean, that's one game that
Mhm.
I'd love to, play again and then soak up that pressure and deliver. Yeah.
Okay, talking about pressure. Now was when we went to Abuja for National Sports Festival. Now I don't want to talk about the tournament proper. I reflecting on part of the decay in the sports in Nigeria generally. Do you remember our journey from Ibadan to Abuja representing the state?
Yes, I remember vividly. It was an experience that one can never forget. It's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sports and athletes in this country are not well taken care of. You can imagine having to travel to leave Ibadan
Yeah,
at close to maybe 7, 8 p.m. heading to
yeah.
Abuja through all those dangerous roads. And
Mm-hmm.
we traveled all through the night, getting to
Yeah.
Abuja at 4 a.m. with a rickety bus. I
Uh,
mean, it was just the height. It was
let's,
terrible.
let's
Everything
just
was,
hope. Yeah, go on.
I mean, it's not an experience to, it's not something to experience again, ever, never ever.
Okay, so talking about the sports festival then in Abuja, I'm
Yeah.
sure you remember it was a blend of people from all over. So apart from the people you knew, the people you started playing the games with, who were your best pick of that Oyo State team in was it 2004? yeah, 2004. Who and who were your best pick for the team then?
Chika Egbe, because Chika is a talent that was never really, harnessed,
Yeah,
and as well as Ayo Ogunbemi, yeah. Ayo was a
yeah,
fine, it was a fine bowler,
yeah,
very lively with the wicket. Yeah. I mean, those two,
yeah.
they really stood out for
Okay.
me.
So, what were your memories of Abuja that year?
I can see comments from Monikoyi Oyombo. Yeah, I mean, Abuja was quite an experience. It was it was a stage where I saw that, Nigeria. I mean, if you look at, the caliber of players, from all over the states, that came to that tournament, you'll find out that Lagos is played. I mean, you find out that cricket is played beyond Lagos,
Yep.
because I remember there was some guy that came from, was it River State? A guy called James. I never saw that guy play again. He was a
Mm,
fine striker of the cricket ball. I've never seen, someone play like that. And I don't know, he was never invited to the national team. We never saw him again after that tournament. I don't know if
yeah.
other people saw him again, but I never saw him again. This kind of thing. So I believe the sports festival is a tournament that showcases, all the
Yeah.
cricketers in the country. So it's a good platform.
Yeah. True. Okay. So, what was your own game of the tournament in at the sports festival?
Sorry, take that
What was
again.
your game? I said, what was your game of the tournament for that festival?
I think for that tournament, it was still part of my developmental process, you know, as a cricketer, because you're only as good as the tournaments you play. The tournament
Yeah.
is different from playing in the league, you know. So if you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
have tournament experience, be able to absorb play pressure and deliver, I think those are one of the things that I picked up in that tournament, The I mean, continue to help me as I progressed in the game.
Okay. All right. So it was after that period. Yes, glue is sticky. It was after that period came the age grade call up into them. I'm in a meeting. It was after that period came the call up for the age grade national team. Okay, so but before we go into that, I have a question here from T Show 777. So okay, so you studied veterinary medicine. One
Yeah.
of the most mentally tasking when you talk of time that you have to put into your studies, you talk of the devotion, dedication that you need to put into that course of study. That course is one of the most tasking in the University of Ibadan. So Tisho is now asking, how did you manage cricket then with your academics, considering the fact that you were studying veterinary medicine?
Wow, that's a good question. It was very tough, Tisho. I can tell you that for free. Um, because I used to remember, coming back from the games and having to wake up maybe by 3 a.m. to start my day, having to
Yeah,
read for a test, So there were a lot of sleepless nights, just trying to make up for lost time, so to say. So it was tough. So it was really tough juggling academics and sports. Considering the fact that I was also a
stop it,
dedicated,
stop it.
a
You
dedicated
go on.
cricketer. A dedicated
Yeah,
cricketer. So it was really tough. Then.
yeah.
But I'm very happy that I was able to scale through.
So what was Professor Ewete's uh, what was his disposition to you playing cricket then?
So for some for some reason, in my family, I think myself and my sister, I think we're the most sports inclined. Yeah,
Okay.
because I remember back in the day when I was in primary school, I was a fine sprinter. You guys won't believe it,
Oh.
but yeah, I was a fine sprinter, back then, and my dad used to support me, and of course, when he found out that I picked up cricket again, when he found out that is that Jason? when
Yeah,
he found out
that's
that
it.
I picked up, when he found out that I picked up cricket again, it was like, I thought you left, sports
Sport.
for like 8 years, what's happening again with this cricket, So yeah, he also
Okay.
supported me. So, but of course, he knew that, I always had this. I thank God for grace. I seem to assimilate, quite quickly. So it wasn't a,
Yeah. Yeah.
it wasn't a challenge. I just needed time, to just, put into my studies and deliver the
Yeah.
grades at the exams. Yeah.
Yeah, and deliver you did because I remember how quickly your game improved. It was like 0 to 100 in a few months, and then it was even to Tiloy, who was more like your mentor then. He was amazed at how quickly your game picked up. Okay, so back
Yeah.
to what we were discussing about the national team call up, the first ever one. How did the news come to you and how did you take it?
Okay, so that was back in 2007. I was serving then.
Okay.
So I think I got a. Hello, Olumide.
Sorry, my
Sorry.
network, a call came in and my network went off. So sorry about the breaking transmission. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. So please could you take that again? Your first call up to the national team, how it came and how you took it.
Okay. So I was invited into the national camp in
Okay.
2007. Yeah, and it was an open camp. I think
No,
we
no, 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 no,
practiced
no.
for.
That's not the one I was talking about. I was talking
Okay.
about the World Cup qualifiers in 2005.
Oh, in South Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so that happened on the UI cricket pitch.
Okay.
Okunupong, who was the coach of that under 19 side,
Yeah.
called me aside during one of those practice sessions and broke the news to me that I'd been selected to tour South
Okay.
Africa with Nigeria.
Did you think it was
So
serious?
I didn't think it was serious until I found myself with a couple of guys at the passport office in Agodi trying to make trying to get us international passports. I was like, ah man, this looks serious. Until we were on the trip to Lagos and then heading to South Africa.
Okay.
So it was really everything happened so fast, and I just couldn't believe what was happening around me then.
Okay. So what was your? I'm sure when the camp started for that tournament then in UI, you must have seen some very intimidating names. Names like Onikoyi, Joshua Ogunlola, and the likes. Did you think were you threatened in any way? Did you feel threatened in any way by those big names?
Well, I didn't feel threatened by them because, we were already used to rub shoulders in the league, so I
Okay.
knew them. Yeah, I knew them, but of course, it was a group of, very promising cricketers, so I mean, anyone would feel scared,
Yeah.
because in terms of team selection, you never know who will be picked, so you have
Uh-huh.
to give it your best. So it was really, it was a tough side, and I was glad that I was selected in the end.
Yeah. So what was your expectation for the SA tournament when you got to South Africa? What was your expectation?
The expectation was at least for Nigeria to be able to take at the second position, but when we got there, we found out that, man, you know, there are far superior countries in this game,
Uh,
and yeah, but maybe with a bit of discipline, maybe one would have done better on that tour, But
yeah.
I think it's always the case, that this rush of blood, this
Yeah.
impatience, I think it's just something that happens to us Nigerians, We just
Hmm.
lose it, so to say.
Yeah. So which game out of those, I think there were 7 games in all. There were 2 friendly games, one against one side in, was it Soweto, and
Yeah.
then Zambia before the tournament proper. So which of those games do you look back and say, this is what I would have done differently, and I would very much like to go back and play my innings all over again?
Okay, out of the practice tour matches,
Yeah, the 2 practice matches and the 5 games during the tournament.
oh, the game against Kenya,
Okay, so what did
yeah,
you think you could have done better?
I didn't read the conditions very well, and
Okay,
I tried to play lofted drive over covers, and I don't know, for some reason the high winds in Benoni, caught my ball in the air, and then yeah, it was a very bad shot because that game was winnable, It's one of my few regrets. Yeah, against
okay,
Kenya.
yeah. So which innings was your best in South Africa?
I think against Zambia, the first match
Okay,
against Zambia. Yeah, I played
okay,
some lovely strokes in that game. I think I scored 2 or 3 boundaries, in that
okay.
game. Yeah, and I was really feeling good, during that game until I got
Until,
a faint nick to the keeper, and then got out in that game. Yeah, to spin left arm spinner. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so before we move ahead, there's a question here from OC, and he says, "What's your perspective about cricket in Nigeria, and what you think the government could do better to make the game better?"
Well, for cricket in Nigeria, you know, I think we are on the right track, because there are some foundations being put on ground now. There's several tournaments being played, age group cricket,
Yeah,
But of course, what will be lacking in the end will be funding, you know.
yeah,
Can cricket, if football is struggling, with
hmm,
funding from the federal government, how would cricket fare? So those are questions that needs to be answered, But with a lot of support from the federal government, I think the NCF will be able to deliver. But without funding, we can't go anywhere. But of course, the
okay,
structures are being put there now. Yeah. So
okay, all
hopefully,
right.
we will continue to board new cricketers.
Hopefully, man. So before we go ahead with your international call-up story, I have a question here from Tisho, and it says, let me cast your mind back to National Sports Festival, the one we were preparing for at Liberty Stadium. Uh, Sorry
You're back.
about that. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so shortly before departure for the tournament, cricket was dropped after the months of sacrifice, after the months of practice and getting your body and mind in shape. What was your personal reaction to it? How did you feel after we were dropped?
Sorry, maybe 2006 festival, right?
Yeah, that festival.
Well, honestly, my my memory is starting to fail me with some of those things. But if you could refresh my memory a bit, yeah, I mean, I keep struggling with all these memories. But maybe if you could trigger something, maybe I'd pass my mind back.
Okay. So let me prod your memory a bit. So the
Yeah.
major preparation happened in UI, but then we were
Okay.
camped at Liberty Stadium. You remember we had two coaches then from Oyo State that came to join us.
Oh,
If I can, Boris, why now? You remember that phrase? Maurice, why now?
yeah. Okay. Is that Coach Cardozo?
Not Cardozo. There were two coaches there that came to join Oyo State. They were coaches from Oyo State, and then we were camped at Liberty Stadium. You can't remember? Okay.
No, because
Before this,
yeah.
before these questions go away, let me just we'll come back to that later. So
Okay.
Isaac is asking, what's your perspective on the current state of cricket in UI most especially?
Well, I think for the situation at UI, I think we older cricketers, we need to save the sport in that institution, because the state at which the facilities are right now is really deplorable,
Yeah,
and if we don't do something, come together and do something, we're really going to lose, that facility which
yeah,
was put there by the colonial masters, which the
yeah.
country can benefit from. So we really need to save that sport in UI. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the people listening in and whoever it is that will watch this later key into this suggestion and take it up before it gets too late. All right. So I knew you started out as an outswing bowler. Many people don't know that. You started out as an outswing bowler, and then you all of a sudden switched to a Murali. Why did you decide to switch?
Okay, so I think back then I was trying to find my feet in the game. So I was trying to do everything at the same time, and
Okay.
yeah, as a seamer, I think I remember my first weekend being Sukomi Odedele. I hope he's here during
Yeah.
one of FCC's tour of Ibadan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kept on struggling. I think for some reason I kept on struggling with my line. Yeah, so I
Okay.
had to switch to something I thought was easier, which was spin bowling.
Okay.
And that was where the nickname Borali, started.
Orally.
But
Yeah.
of course, when that didn't work out, I had to take off the gloves when
Then the
UI had
gloves.
no wicket keeper.
Yeah.
So
I remember, and I remember then Adam Gilchrist was your more like an idol to you. I remember you
yes,
putting his pictures all over the pavilion then in UI.
yes,
That
Adam
was your
Gilchrist was my
international. That was your international idol. At that early
yes.
stage, which Nigerian keeper were you looking up to at that stage of your game?
The first keeper I ever saw was Dolapo Gaffer,
Hmm. Yeah.
and he was Nigeria's keeper,
Then,
at
yeah.
that time. Yes, and I admired Dolapo's game, both as a batsman as a keeper, So it was the first person I really admired as a keeper in Nigeria, But of
Okay.
course, after then, I saw Onikoyi,
Uh,
So, yeah.
okay.
And of course, Shegun Olayinka. I mean, those were very good
Yeah.
keepers.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, the
All right.
occasional, appearance of Musibao, just showing us one or two
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
was
remember.
really, yeah. So
Yeah.
you know that these guys really played at the highest level, with their level of
That's
knowledge.
true.
You know.
That's true. So I have a question here from Mario, and I'm going to break it down. So he's asking who the best bowler you've ever faced was. So I'm going to break it down thus. At Nuga games, can you remember which bowler still gives you flashbacks during the 2002 UI Nuga?
Sheon Deku.
I hope he's
I
here.
never, honestly, before the tournament, I faced Sheon in the net. Wow,
Okay.
I never seen such, such quick bowling.
Not even a
So
day.
it was, not Ade, Odeku was more lively on the pitch than Ade.
Okay.
Ade was kind of fast, but no, it wasn't as fast as Odeku. And then Odeku had this occasional bouncer, and then, when he
Mm-hmm.
veers off the pitch, it was
Yeah.
frightening,
Yeah.
So I think it was Odeku. I was really wary of Odeku in that
Okay.
tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in South Africa, which bowler was it that did it for you?
In South Africa, right?
Yeah.
There was a Tanzanian bowler, Benson Mwita.
Left armer?
No, right arm,
Okay.
right arm swing. Yeah, right arm swing. He could bowl in and out. It was a
Okay.
fine swing of the ball, And
Okay.
I think he bowled me. Yeah, he bowled me with an in swinging Yorker in that game. Yeah, he
Okay.
really set me up. Yeah.
All right. And then in the league in Lagos, which because I know you faced a lot of very good bowlers. So which three bowlers are the bowlers that you think of, and then you have to think twice before you go into their bowling?
Joshua Ogunlola.
Yeah.
Joshua was a very, very crafty bowler.
Crafty. Yeah, that's the word. Very crafty
Yeah.
bowler in this. And
Chibuke
two.
Iteogu.
Mm-hmm.
Chibuke Iteogu, who was playing for KC at the time, he was the first. You can just imagine facing Chibuke. I think that was the first bowler I would face in the Lagos leagues. I don't think I
Yeah.
saw his delivery that day, and I got both. He was lightning fast.
Okay.
So
And
that
the
was the
third
first
one is
baptism in the Lagos league. The third one would be. Uh, let me see. The third one would be maybe Kehinde Olabiwon. I think the spin. You know,
Ah, that's
it was also
interesting.
a very it was also a very cunning. You know, yeah. I mean, if you've ever faced him, you see that at every point in time he has a plan. You will see
Yeah.
what he's trying to do. All the deliveries are different,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
to set you up. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it was a
that,
very crafty bowler too.
that's true. So during your time with the senior team, I think it was to Gambia.
Yeah, to Gambia.
What did you got a game there, or how
No,
many
I didn't
games did you
play in
get in
Gambia.
Ghana? Oh,
No, I
okay,
didn't play in
okay.
Gambia. I was
What
selected
was
for
the
the tour.
experience? What was the experience like for you in Gambia?
Well, the that was a very interesting tour. You know, it was a big step up. From the age group cricket. And then that's where you
Yeah,
find out that it was a different ball game entirely. The national team has a culture.
yeah.
And as long as you are a debutant, you're meeting the team for the first time.
You
Regardless
have to
of
pay homage.
your age, you carry it back. Oh. In fact, nobody will tell you. You just see that they've left
They've
the
left it for
big,
you.
the big kid bags. They left them for. I mean, left it for you, and then you have to pick it up and bring them to the pitch. So, but it was really nice. Being amongst the group of the best in the country.
Okay.
Having to represent the country, it was really
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah, that's the highest honor anybody could wish for, to play for
Yeah.
your country. So Tilo is asking, I beg your pardon, Tisho is asking, during your time in UI, which players gave you the toughest competition?
As a UI teammate, I mean, for a UI teammate or opposition.
Well, you could answer for both.
Well, I think Tiloy. Tiloy was
Okay.
Tiloy was an intimidating batsman,
Yeah.
and
Or the
I
pick
think
and
one of
testify.
I mean Tiloy. See, if Tiloy was the first batsman that would see launch a six into the library,
Yeah.
and I didn't know anybody could hit the ball that far, but so Taylor was really terrifying, but now he's getting old. He's now
Yeah.
an old man. Yeah,
Time
age is
beats
catching up
everybody
with him.
eventually.
Yeah,
Time beats
yeah.
everybody eventually. Okay, so as an opposition, who was the toughest competition you had as an opposition?
The toughest person I had as opposition was, I would say, Joshua Ogunlola as a batsman.
Okay.
Joshua was a batsman that could take the game away from you within a flash.
Okay. Yeah.
And
True.
if you didn't claim his wicket early, you pay for it dearly.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
All right.
Mm.
So Odepi is asking a question here that
Mm. Mm.
what qualities did you take from cricket and apply to your studies in school back then?
Sorry, take that again.
Odepi is asking that what qualities did you take from cricket and apply to veterinary medicine?
Oh yeah, discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline, dedication. Those were the things that I took from the game of cricket and I applied into my academics. Because
Okay.
you have to stay disciplined, go for practice in order to be able to deliver. And if you don't put in the work, the results won't come.
Okay. Yeah, Bonnie K, I see you. That's all the way from what's it called? From New Jersey. That's Kola. We see you, bro. Okay, so back to cricket now. In that same vein, what qualities did you take from cricket? For people who don't know, he works with one of the biggest financial institutions in Africa, and he's doing really fine. So, what qualities in cricket have helped you in your journey with your employer?
Oh, well, I mean, cricket really exposed me to, because cricket is played, amongst, the elite schools,
Yeah.
and I was able to meet people in all walks of life through cricket, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, me watching all those guys, ensured that, I just had to succeed in life, to
Yeah.
work for a reputable organization and also try and make a name for myself. So watching those guys was really inspiring, and I was very lucky to be able to join the services of Zenith.
Okay.
Fine. I got a lot of mentoring from, former MDs of different corporations when I was going to start my career, and that was all through cricket.
Yeah.
So
So has cricket ever sealed? Because I know you're in sales and marketing. Has cricket ever sealed a deal for you?
no,
Ah,
no,
all
not at
those
all.
Indians.
Oh yeah, well yes, okay, much later. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if you know Anil Gopwani.
I know Anil. I know Anil.
Yeah, this
Gopwani, I know him.
the spinner for LACC. Yes,
Yeah,
he
I
was
know
able
him.
to
I
give
know.
me. Yeah, much later, he was able to give me a business that was really very good. Yeah, so he helped me in that
Okay.
regard. Yeah, Anil.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's interesting. Okay, so
yeah.
let's talk about the league. When your first venture into it, because I know you played for GCI. The very first club you played for in the league is GCI. So what was your, because there were two contrasting experiences. The local weekend, Sunday cricket that we play, Saturday, Sunday, and then to the more business-minded cricket on concrete they play in Lagos. What was the switch like for you? How did you take this sudden thrust into the deep end?
Wow. Yeah, that was really tough. That transition was really tough. Back then.
Yeah,
And of course, if you looked at, I mean, back then in GCI, you looked at the
yeah,
quality of players. It was even a privilege to be on the bench in GCI.
yeah,
Fine, you won't
yeah.
enjoy being on the bench, but if you saw the people in front of you, you'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, maybe I should wait for my time. So it wasn't really, it wasn't really. I mean, but of course, I think it was part of the learning curve.
For sure.
Yes,
Okay.
and playing with those guys. I mean, you can't imagine playing with someone like Kunle Adegbola. I think
Yeah.
that was one of. I mean, Kule was a master of batting, but what surprises me the most was that he couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't understand or comprehend how he couldn't, translate it into the national team. You know,
Yeah.
yes, but being around those guys was really an awesome experience. And I enjoyed every
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. So talk us through your first 50.
My first 50. Okay, that must have been against King's College. Femi John. I don't know if Femi John is in the house.
I wish he was here.
Femi John. It was GCI versus KC. Femi John was the
Yeah.
captain. Maybe Femi John was the captain, or maybe Idika. I'm not so sure anymore. Yeah, that was my first 50 for GCI. I think I made maybe 53 or 56. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
was so happy.
going into that game, did you feel like you could do it?
No, I didn't feel I could score a 50, but I think I think there's a when I'm going to make a big score,
Yeah.
there's a particular way I feel within,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So, and of course, when I see that I'm dominating the bowlers, I just turn it up a notch.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't know that I was going to
Yeah.
make it 50, but I felt good with the bat and just carried on from there.
Okay. So if that's for that you did not know, did you know for your first turn? Because I remember vividly your first turn was at the Unilag cricket pitch, if I'm correct. So did you have that
Yeah,
feeling?
yes, I got that feeling again. I
Okay.
remember I remember batting with Tony Koyi in that particular game. You know, it was
Okay.
the first wicket partnership between myself and Onikoyi, and Onikoyi was middling. Because my game usually starts from gear one. You know,
Yeah.
Onikoyi was hitting the balls really good. He was scoring the boundaries. I was like, what is all this now? How can this guy be enjoying
Well, I bet,
enjoying
yeah.
the trashing of these pioneers guys? Let me join in the fun now. All
Okay.
of a sudden, I got a few hot shots,
Mm-hmm.
which helped me going. And
Yeah.
I think Paje Odikoyi must have fallen for maybe 87 or so. I think I must have been on
Okay.
50. I just carried on from there and got the 126 in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really tired after that knock. It was. But
I,
yes, I
I
felt
remember.
I had that feeling again. You know,
Okay.
I had that
So
feeling. Yeah.
your 100 against the Indians at TBS for IMCC. You remember?
Yes, 100 not out.
Okay. So did you have that feeling too?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I had that feeling again too. Yeah.
So you
I
knew
my
you were
my
going to score.
yes, I knew. I think as soon as I got into my 40s, I knew I was going to get a big one. Because I was feeling good, and if you saw that innings, you see that I dominated the bowling. You
Yeah,
know,
you
I
did.
was hitting the ball to all parts of the ground. Yes, that's how you can tell that I'm feeling really, really good once I'm middling it that way. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to take you back a bit to when you were